Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds didn't just join It Ends With Us. They hijacked the entire project before it even started. And we have proof. The moment Blake signed on, the fate of this movie was sealed. What looked like a normal casting decision was actually a step-by-step master plan to take full control of the production, just like Ryan did with Deadpool. And if you think this is the first time they've pulled this off, think again. This is how Hollywood power moves are really played. And by the end of this video, you'll see why Justin Baldoni never stood a chance.
And I'm really sorry. I f***ed up. That is a fail on my part. One thing you should know about me is I will admit and apologize.
The setup. How the takeover began. At first, it seemed like Blake was just another actress taking on a role. She was cast as Lily Bloom, the lead, and agreed to a humble $3 million salary, which, for someone of her status, was shockingly low. But that was never the final plan. Instead, she made sure to negotiate an executive producer credit. On paper, it looked like a small title, something actors sometimes get as a courtesy. But behind the scenes, it was her first step into taking over. And here's where it gets interesting. This exact playbook has been used before. Back in 2016, Ryan Reynolds took a massive pay cut for the first Deadpool movie, making just $2 million. But the real money and control came later, once he secured more influence over the production. Sound familiar? That's because it's the same strategy Blake just used, and she wasn't done yet. The perfect timing. Waiting until half the budget was spent. Step 2? Wait until it's too late for anyone to stop you. Blake joined the production after the major contracts were signed and most of the budget was locked in. Then, once half the money had already been spent, she started making demands. The first sign of trouble? The wardrobe stunt. She waited until every single outfit for her character had been designed, bought, and approved, then suddenly refused to wear them. That meant the entire wardrobe budget was wasted. The production was forced to spend thousands more to buy everything again, this time to fit Blake's personal taste. And here's where the trap snapped shut. Justin Baldoni was now cornered. Remember, this was his movie. He had poured his own money into the project. And now, with the budget spiraling, firing Blake wasn't an option. She knew it, and she wasn't done yet. The script takeover. How Ryan Reynolds got involved. At this point, Blake wasn't just changing her wardrobe, she was changing the actual script. But she wasn't working alone. Ryan Reynolds, her husband and Hollywood's king of behind-the-scenes power moves, was helping her rewrite entire sections of the script without Justin Baldoni's approval. Here's how they did it. Blake invited Justin to her house under the guise of discussing creative ideas. But when he arrived, Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift were already there. Then, as Blake presented her new script ideas, Ryan and Taylor started hyping her up, cornering Justin with overwhelming praise so that saying no would make him look like the bad guy. Manipulation at its finest. And when Justin resisted, Blake switched tactics, sending him late-night texts expressing her disappointment in how she was being treated. Eventually, he gave in, and this was just the beginning. Exploiting the writer's strike, the power move. Blake's next move? Taking advantage of the Hollywood strikes. When the 2023 writers and actors strike shut down production, most of Hollywood was scrambling, but for Blake, it was an opportunity. While everything was on hold, she used the time to renegotiate her contract, demanding 17 non-negotiable changes that would give her even more creative power. At this point, Justin was bleeding money. He had no choice but to agree. And just like that, Blake had officially outmaneuvered him. The editing room takeover. Finalizing control. Once filming wrapped, Justin thought his job as director was safe. Wrong. Blake forced her way into the editing room, a space reserved for the director and approved editors only, and demanded access for 2 full days. Then, she stretched it to 10. During that time, she and Ryan made major changes to the movie, bringing in their own editors and firing Justin's team. Even the composer was replaced, allegedly because Taylor Swift had personal issues with him. And in test screenings, Justin's original cut tested better. But Blake, she wasn't backing down, because now she was ready to play her final card. The ultimatum, holding the film hostage. Blake knew she had one last move left, threatening to tank the movie if she didn't get her way. She told the studio that if her version wasn't chosen, she would not promote the film. This would have been a death sentence for It Ends With Us. Marketing relies heavily on the lead actress. If Blake refused to do press, the entire project would bomb. Justin had no choice. And at the film's premiere, he was sent to the basement.
Could have been one of the most beautiful nights of my life, career-wise. I literally was sent to the basement with all my friends and family for over an hour. I wasn't allowed to be seen. She didn't want me anywhere near her or the rest of the cast. We start laughing because of the ridiculousness of this whole thing. And I realized, like, on a night that was supposed to be so materialistically joyful, I was in the basement with the people that I love the most, and we were all joyful and laughing. Because none of that shit matters. We're in this business because we're artists, and we believe in what we do. And I believe that will follow each of us, and that truth will prevail, and that light and love will win.
The director, the man who built this project from the ground up, was banned from his own red carpet. And Blake? She was the star of the night. The end game, the real reason behind the takeover. But here's the kicker. This was never just about It Ends With Us. This was about controlling an entire Hollywood empire. Blake and Ryan had a much bigger plan: to secure the rights to all of Colleen Hoover's books and build a franchise. Colleen Hoover even launched her own production company, Heart Bones Entertainment, just as all of this was happening. Coincidence? Doubt it. With It Ends With Us, Blake was following Ryan's Deadpool playbook step by step, turning herself from just an actress into a full-blown Hollywood power player. But here's the real question. Has she gone too far? Because if you know how Game of Thrones ends, you know what happens when someone gets too hungry for power. And in this game, Blake might have just crowned herself Hollywood's next Daenerys Targaryen. But what do you think? Is Blake's Hollywood takeover genius or pure manipulation? Let us know in the comments.